Welcome back to another episode of my Hardcore Tileman series. If you missed the last episode, a link to the full playlist will be in the top right corner of this video so you can get caught up. If you're new here, I recommend starting this series from the beginning, as some footage in this video will contain spoilers from previous episodes. Now, this is a special bonus video that I've decided to make for a couple of reasons. The first and most exciting reason is in celebration of hitting 100 subscribers on YouTube. Fellas and ladies, it has been an absolute pleasure to entertain you all with this new series. I hope that you will continue to trust me with your time as we dive deeper into the Tileman series. The second reason is pretty simple but entirely appropriate. In talking with this growing community, I've noticed that we have a good mix of viewership here. Some of you are seasoned veterans to Runescape, while others may have played years ago and are slowly starting to dip their toes back into the game world. What's surprising to me are the amount of people here who have never played RuneScape, yet they're following this series with each new episode. Wherever you fall in this spectrum, I'd just like to thank you for your support. The best way for me to do that is to continue making videos, and I certainly plan to do that. But I also think it's important to take a step back and acknowledge the overarching rule set for this series. You can consider this video an unofficial hardcore Tileman rule set explanation of sorts. Full disclosure, this is not a progress update video, but rather an in-depth look at Iron Man mode, an old school RuneScape, and the Tileman mode, RuneLite plugin, which makes all this possible. It's also important to note that not every series is the same, and some rules discussed in this video will differ from player to player. In my opinion, this rule set is a step above the rest because of how dynamic it can be the further you progress your account. And for those that are looking to start the Tileman mode and they want to play it through the old school RuneScape plugin launcher, RuneLite, the best way to get that program started, just go ahead and download it. And when you have the program up, it's going to look like this at the login screen. You're going to go to the wrench here at the top right for configuration. This is going to put you on the landing page for all of the default plugins that are available with RuneLite. They have what's called a plugin hub, which is listed at the bottom right here. You can click that and it pulls up its own search bar. Now right at the top, these are the plugins that I have downloaded. Your list may look a little bit different, but the Tileman mode it's already plugged in on mine. If you need to find it, just simply type in Tileman mode, and it'll be right here by Connor Leckie. All you need to do is hit the install button and you're already ready to play. Now to enable the Tileman mode, you're going to find it in your list. Just scroll down to the T's. It's all in alphabetical order. Go to the wrench for Tileman mode and simply choose the mode that you want. Now the game modes are broken down into 3 options right now. There's community mode, which is for multiple players. There's the strict mode, which is the current mode that I'm playing, and the accelerated mode, which allows for custom game mode options. Essentially, you're going to choose which one best fits your playstyle. Strict, you're going to start with a single tile. Accelerated, you have the option to include additional tiles, as well as the custom game mode down here. You can configure how much experience you would like to gain before receiving a tile. You can configure how many bonus tiles you would like, and you can enable the custom game mode, toggle it on and off. You can exclude experience for certain, like if you're doing mini games. You can include your total level as well. All of that is available right here under the Tileman mode option. Here's a quick overview of the rules that I believe creates the most unique and enriching experience for Tileman mode. Under the Tileman mode configuration, select the strict game mode. Doing so will provide you with a single starting tile. This is where my rule set differs from the original game mode. Before you enable auto-mark tiles under the settings tab, you should take the time to locate an ideal starting location in the game. Some people like to start on the spawn tile in Lumbridge, while others will find a more lucrative spot in the city to grind out the early tiles. I personally did not want to start in Lumbridge, so I took the route of randomization. I put all the cities available to me as a fresh account and randomly selected one. Once that was done, I headed over and selected my first tile. As soon as you find the tile you want to start on, go ahead and enable Auto Mark Tiles under the Settings tab, and bam, you're good to go. The main takeaway here is the flexibility in your starting zone. Old School RuneScape is a massive game and has so much content to offer, even to restricted accounts such as Iron Man. It is not a requirement to play as an Iron Man in order to enjoy Tileman mode. However, it does add a layer of difficulty to the game mode. If you're unfamiliar with how Iron Man mode works in RuneScape, I will link the official RuneScape Iron Man mode rules in the description of this video. For context, Christylize is a hardcore Iron Man, and that means I have the same restrictions as a normal Iron Man, but I can lose my hardcore status if I die in game. It's kind of like Sword Art Online, but without the IRL death.
Switch?
The novelty of Tileman mode lies in its core mechanic of unlocking tiles and carving a path from destination to destination. Honestly, you could just play the game with these rules alone, and no one would blink an eye. But where's the fun in that? While we're grinding these rock crabs, now is the perfect time to explain some of more of our long-term goals and progression for this account and for the Tileman series in the future. I've been thinking long and hard as far as how I want to incentivize the time invested on this account without just looking at it from just a simple experience gain equals tile formula. There's so many different things in RuneScape that you can do that not only enriches your experience for playing the game, but it opens up a lot of content for your character. With that being said, let's look at the overall arching things you can do in RuneScape outside of just killing things and completing quests. So RuneScape has quests, achievement diaries, combat achievements, a collection log, and even clue scrolls to do. So many added layers of entertainment to the game that we, as a Tileman account, without any additional rules, likely would not have access to, or at least limited access to. So I'd like to bring up a chart that I've compiled that I've actually gotten from a fantastic YouTuber, Mr. Telecon himself. If you haven't heard of this gentleman, he's got his own Tileman series, an objective Tileman series, where he's implementing these same rules, and I loved them so much, I thought that they fit the mood of my account as well as my playstyle, so much so that I reached out to him and said, hey man, I'd like to implement these into my series. He's given me the okay, so I'm going to share these numbers with you now. If you're interested in seeing his content, I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below so that you can check him out. He's a fantastic content creator, and he's starting to be a good friend as well. So thank you, man, once again. This is a lot of numbers to look at right off the bat. In fact, I don't want you to focus too hard on the numbers right now. I'd like you to just understand the overall arching reasoning behind this. Ideally, I'd like to progress this account to the point where we can complete quests, and we can complete diaries, and we can complete achievements, and the collection log, and clue scrolls. But I'd also like to have a return of investment on that. I do think that it's detrimental to at least my mental health on that to not have some sort of incentive for completing this stuff outside of just the rewards that they normally give. And with the Tileman account, the most valuable resource is tiles. You can see here that we have the rewards per tile based off of the difficulty level for each different activity in the game. Quests have easy, medium, hard, experienced, master, and grandmaster. Diaries have easy, medium, hard, and elite. Clue scrolls also have easy, medium, hard, and elite. Combat achievements are broken down the same way as quests, easy to grandmaster. It seems like a lot of tiles can be gained from this opportunity. It's estimated around 44 to like 45,000 tiles that you could gain from doing these activities. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not too many tiles. And I'd like to break it down for you map-wise. Throughout RuneScape, like we said in the very first episode, the map itself is broken down into chunks. Those chunks are 64 by 64 tiles. Doing the math on that is going to come out to roughly 4,000 tiles per chunk. And so when you look at it across the board, it's almost anywhere between 2.8 and 3 million tiles throughout the entire map of RuneScape, which is so much that there's no way I'd be able to obtain that on just a regular Tileman account. Having this extra buffer is going to allow me to not only complete additional activities in the game, but it's going to incentivize my time and investment in this series, and overall is going to make it a better experience for you as the viewer. If I'm having fun, you guys are having fun. That's a simple solution that everybody can get behind. I'd also like to make it apparent that this is not something that is immediately just getting thrown on the account. We're not just going to end up with 44,000 free tiles right now. This is still an investment in the series, and all I'm doing is enriching the experience for you. At least that's how I hope you'll understand it. I hope that this video has helped you better understand the appeal of Tileman mode. Keep in mind that, like most restricted game modes, the rules are subjective. Old school RuneScape is over 20 years old and still finds a way to surprise me at every turn. It's people like Link's Ocarina, Rarg, Settled, SRAM 1337, Tedious, Only Trails, Telecon, and more who revolutionized the way we play. The RuneScape community is like the cockroach of gaming communities. No matter what apocalyptic levels of fuckery gets thrown at us, we just keep bouncing back stronger and more exciting than before. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and comment if you have any questions about the rules or need me to go back and explain anything. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, Monday, April 25th, in the next episode of my Hardcore Tileman series.